In this video, I'm going to be doing a spread in my bullet journal on mindful eating, and what prompted this was a course I took about health, and it was addressing it more from a spiritual perspective. And one of the things they talked about was be kind of like a meditative eating, which is also kind of mindfulness when you eat. And this is a concept that a lot of people have discussed. It's nothing new, but it prompted me to put a little tracker in my bullet journal when it came to being more mindful of my eating. And this really helped me because it wasn't a habit for me. It was something I constantly forgot. And I think even just having this tracker in a journal where you see it every day, even though you don't do it every day, it just constantly reminds you every day, like, oh, I forgot again. And then eventually it sticks in your head to remember to do it. And as you can see, I think I didn't start doing it consistently for a couple weeks because it just didn't become a habit, and now I actually think of it more and more often. And the same with meditative movement. I just constantly forgot to do it until a couple weeks went by and I finally remembered. So just even seeing it, even if you don't do it every day, it somehow helps you to actually become a habit. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about that I put in the spread was eating only when you're hungry. I think a lot of people know that you should only eat when you're hungry and, not to feed your taste buds, but your stomach instead. And I guess I also should have put in here, like, your mind, because sometimes you just mentally want things, either, because you're craving something or because you just get it into your head that you want to eat it because you see it, on TV or you in a movie or somebody mentions it and you start wanting to eat it. But you should just eat when you're actually hungry. And then the next thing is chewing. They say you're supposed to chew your food like many, many times more than most people do. And I know certain foods are so easy to just like swallow down, but really being mindful of chewing. And that also makes you just savor the bite that you're eating and be present with that food and enjoy it. And next is dealing with your emotions. That kind of goes along with eating only when you're hungry. And just if you have negative emotions around food or any kind of issues with food, whether they be positive or negative emotions, to just, sit with those and be mindful of them. And then if you're feeling like, I want to eat this, but I feel like I shouldn't, dealing with that. Or you eat it and you feel like you shouldn't have and you're feeling guilt or regret, dealing with that so that you become more mindful of what you're feeling inside and what emotions could be driving you to eat or what you could be feeling after you've eaten. The next thing is giving eating your full attention. So turning off the TV, turning off your phone, not reading a book, not playing a game, nothing, just eating. And this I found to be quite challenging. I've actually been going outside and sitting on my balcony and just eating snacks there or meals there. And my mind just tells me, oh, this is such a waste of time. You could be multitasking. You could be reading a book. You could be doing so many things. But then you're not really enjoying your food. You're not tasting your food necessarily. And it just takes away from the eating process. And I think usually, at least what I've noticed, is I'm eating less because I notice when I'm full instead of just eating mindlessly. And I actually enjoy the food more, and I don't think it's a waste of time because they say that being more mindful can also help with your digestion, so it can have a lot of positive impacts. And then I also put leave something behind, not as a rule, but I've personally noticed by practicing mindful eating that I often feel like I need to finish everything on my plate. I don't know where this idea came from, maybe not wanting to waste food, but I'm realizing it's okay to leave something behind, put it in the fridge, and eat it as leftovers later. So that's just my own contribution from what I realized. And the next thing is gratitude. I think a lot of people talk about gratitude, put gratitude trackers in their bullet journals, things like that. But when you really think about where your food came from, not just where it grew, the farmer who grew it, the person who picked it, or, whoever, the truck driver who delivered it to the grocery, but also thinking about the sun, the water, the rain, the insects in the soil itself, the earth that, gave you this food. And also I've started thinking about, different food combinations. I was eating avocado toast the other day and I was thinking who invented avocado toast and how did I find out about this? And, all these recipes that you find out about that people share with you that you get to make, and having gratitude for how this specific food came to your plate and also just the time it takes. Like, I was eating blueberries the other day, and I mean, I started growing some of my own food. I started growing some peppers and some tomatoes. All my tomatoes died. I grew them from seeds, and it just made me realize like how much time and effort it takes to grow things. And I had this huge, beautiful bowl, an abundance of blueberries, and the amount of time and that took to grow it, and now here I am able to enjoy that. Next is to swallow before the next bite, and this is something I am very guilty of, that I became aware of by practicing mindful eating, was that often I take a bite and I'm already reaching for the next one before I've even like chewed and swallowed and tasted the one I already took. And or if you're holding a sandwich, you're like still holding that sandwich, you never set it down, you're just like ready to take the next bite. You don't even like swallow, or you don't even chew, or you don't even finish and enjoy what you're having. So that's something I'm trying to be really mindful of, is like set the fork down, don't reach for the next bite, set down your sandwich or whatever you're eating, and just eat what you're eating and enjoy that, and put your attention on that, and then take the next bite. So those are some of the things that I've been doing as I've been practicing this. I've been really enjoying it, and I've noticed that eating is becoming more stress-free, more enjoyable, and hopefully a healthier, positive, and overall more healthy experience for me. So if you haven't tried out mindful eating, I definitely encourage you to try it. Maybe pick a couple of these and see how it goes. So I hope you got some good ideas. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you on my next video. Bye.